Today we're going to be talking about safety within engineering. Safety is everybody's responsibility. Today's safety video is going to be more on a generalized safety. You will be watching future Edpuzzles throughout this class on more specific targeted safety requirements, like safety within chemical engineering, safety within biological engineering, safety within the mechanical engineering. But this will be more generalized. This information will be tested. So some of these upcoming videos will contain some safety information that will not be found in this class. So we won't be dealing with extremely dangerous chemicals, but I'm going to talk about it because maybe eventually you will go into a career in that field and you might decide to, you'll need to know that safety information. And more importantly, this is not a complete list of safety procedures. This is just as much as I can. So, throughout this class, use your common sense. Neither of these people are wearing their safety glasses. Come on, people. Now, we're going to go through these bullet points. It is going to be long. It's going to be arduous. Please write these down. You can pause this video at any time and write these down in your engineering notebook. There will be a test, and you have to receive 100% to continue on in using any tools whatsoever in this class. So you need to get 100% on the test, and these are where I'm going to pull the questions from. So, general safety. You are not permitted to work on any machine equipment until you have received the necessary instructions. You are not permitted to work on any machine or equipment before or during or after school hours unless you have received permission from me. Eye protection must be required at any time you are working with wood or metal in the metal shop. You will always be using hearing protection when working with loud or high-pitched machines. Loud noises can cause temporary or permanent hearing loss. Horseplay and running around is never allowed. Horseplaying can cause you to be extremely dangerous. Playful pushing may cause collisions with sharp edges of benches or colliding with machines or other objects. Students who act immature will be dismissed from class, and you will not be able to participate in this in the activities. Become thoroughly familiar with all fire signals, drills, and procedures, and fire exits. In the case of a fire alarm, stop what you're working on and walk to the nearest exit. Rags containing oils, gasolines, paints, solvents, or anything combustible must be kept in a closed metal container. Otherwise, fires could result from the spontaneous combustion. Those same chemicals, if they're spilled on the ground, need to be cleaned up immediately. You shouldn't be dealing with any of these chemicals, but in case you are, specifically, let's say you're in the auto body, metalworking, or the wood shop, this does apply still. Do not lift anything heavier than you are able to handle. Squat down to pick up any heavy objects. Do not lift with your back, but lift with your legs so that the object can go vertical instead of being pivoted on your back. This will prevent any spine or back issues. Long pieces of material should be handled very carefully so that they will not cause injury. So you shouldn't be swinging around a 2x4 in this classroom. We will be using a 2x4 in this class, so you shouldn't be swinging that around. That will hit somebody. You want to carry it by 2 people. Every injury, no matter how slight it is, needs to be reported to me as well. Keep the area clean around your machines to minimize tripping and slipping. Good housekeeping is a sign of a safe and efficient workplace. Gasoline, thinners, solvents, wood finishes must not be near anything that has sparks or open flames. So this is like you don't want to keep your gasoline in the welding shop. Be sure to now this is electrical safety. When you're dealing with electrical things, specifically household electricity or higher voltage, so 110 to higher voltages, you would need to make sure your hands are dry and you're standing on a dry floors. Check your conditions of your power cords. Make sure that they're not the insulation is there and has not been frayed or deteriorated. When you're disconnecting power cords, pull on the plug, not on the cord. Pull on the plug will pull out the outlet and will prevent damage to the cord. Consider all wires and other conductings as alive and could electrocute you unless you have proven otherwise. Now, hand tools, use the right tool for the right job. If you're using the wrong tool, it can cause issues, damage either to the tool, to the object you're trying to tool, or more importantly, damage to you. Vices should keep closed with their handles vertical when they are not in use, so people don't run into them. Tools and materials should be not left out protruding from the workbench so passing students don't hit themselves. Mushroom heads on chisels, hammers, punches, and similar tools must be ground down clean, because if you hit them, those chips can fly off and cause injury. Make sure all tools and blades are sharp and in good condition. A sharp tool is a safer tool because it requires less force to cut. Dull tools are actually more dangerous. We will be using sharp tools, X-Acto blades to be exact. Now, sharp tools can cause injury. So don't be a victim of hand or finger cuts by not carelessly handling sharper tools. Carry the cutting edge down and away from you. You should not be carried in your pockets. Direct all cutting away from yourself so that the cuts, if you slip, it always goes away from you. When you pass a tool to another student, hold it out so that they can receive it by the handle. Better way is to pass the tool by just setting it down and letting the other person pick it up. Now, air tools, which we won't use in this class, but maybe you'll be taking some other classes in the school, and these still do apply. Only approved air nozzles should be used to spray off one person to off of dust or anything, and that prevents it from overpressurized air hitting you and causing damage. You never want to play with air compressor air because it can actually cause severe eye, ear, and body damage if it's too high of pressure. Air tools are not toys. Nail guns and air staplers should be treated as if they're a gun, so always pointing it towards the ground or at the material that you're shooting, never at a person. And nails may turn completely around in a piece of wood, so keep your hands away at least 4 inches away from the nailer. Machine safety is going to be, you need to get instructors' permission to use any machinery in the school. You need to dress appropriately. Loose clothing can be grabbed by the machines. So loose jewelry, rings, watches, they need to be taken off, and loose clothes not being worn. If you have longer hair than shoulder length, it needs to be tied back into a ponytail. Again, long hair can be caught into machinery. Only usually one student per machine can be permitted within the safety zone around that machine. Make sure all students outside that machine are aware that it's on. Only operate that machine. The person operating the machine may start and stop that machine unless they're in danger of hurting themselves, and then you can use the emergency stop. If you have doubts about using any tools, do not use it. Ask your instructor. Guards and other safety devices must be used. Do not remove guards from the machines. Use an approved push stick to push blocks or other material through as possible. Great care must be taken to see that all lumber is free of nails, paints, glues, and other loose knots before you machine them. Do not force or overload machines. Feed the work carefully, only as fast as the machine will easily take it. If the machine does not sound right, do not use it. Turn the machine off and then tell me. Make all adjustments on machines with the power off. Most machines will stop within a few seconds, so it's worth a few seconds to prevent any safety issues. Keep your mind on your work. A lapse of inattention means can mean a serious accident. Wait for all machines to stop before you clear any debris, wood or metal. Use a stick or a brush to clean off any scrap metal or wood. Do not talk to the machine operator or distract them while they are working. If you do not feel well, or if you're on any medications, or unrealistically, of course, alcohol or illegal drugs, do not operate the machineries. And this is including over-the-counter medications. If you do not feel well, do not operate those things. It needs your full attention. Work at a safe pace. Do not rush your time and hurry a project because that can cause injury. Unplug all power equipment anytime you think that it needs to make a major change or change a blade. Keep your fingers out of the direct line of cut. Never allow your fingers to come near a moving cutting blade for any reason. When using any machine or hand tool, keep your hands and fingers at least 4 inches away from the blades, cutters, knives, or any other revolving machinery. So, again, that was a lot of stuff. Hopefully you got written down some of those informations. So the safety rule, here are the big ones. Use your common sense. Learn how to use the tool. Think before you actually use that tool. And then, more importantly, think of the potential hazards. What could happen and how do I prevent that hazard from happening? If you have any other questions, go ahead and please ask me.